Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Spider-Man Brand New Day comes out, well, while we're recording it, it comes out today, the official release day. We watched it yesterday on opening night, and it was directed by Destin Daniel Cretton. Great guy. He did a phenomenal job. Starring, obviously, Tom Holland as Spider-Man.
Yes, sir.
And something I just want to, one of my opinions real quick before, and I'm going to ask you a quick opinion, okay? Well, I think it's one of the most cinematically pleasing Spider-Man films to date, in my opinion. Do you have a quick opinion? Do you want to throw out just overall film?
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. The quality change is obvious. This is the most cinematic Spider-Man in terms of, like, we talk about cinematography a lot on the podcast, and that's like, you know, whether it be camera angles, lighting, VFX shots. I mean, dude, the shot like inside the mask.
Yes, bro. Yes, bro.
Like I never even thought of that as a possibility.
Yes.
And also, if you watch the behind the scenes, how they did that,
Yeah,
incredible.
so great. Yeah.
Daniel, was it Chris?
Destin Daniel Cretton?
Destin Cretton, yeah. I always mess up his last name. For reference to, he did Shang-Chi.
Yes, he did.
Phenomenal fight choreographer.
Yes.
He
definitely one of the best MCU movies post Endgame.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And I love Shang-Chi. So when I heard he got control of this, I was like, dude, that's huge.
100%.
But no, I have no disagreement with that whatsoever. This is the best cinematographic looking Spider-Man
100%. Yeah. Well, Zach, I want to talk to you about, we're going to go ahead and dive into the film. Before going any further, spoiler warnings. If you have not seen this film, let's just go ahead and go watch it at your local cinema. Enjoy it with your family, with your kids, with your coworkers, with your friends. This is just one of those films that, like, it's Spider-Man. You can't go wrong with Spider-Man, you know? But I want to talk about that montage at the beginning. It jumps from freshman year of college to graduating college, and we get like all these like villains like the Hand and Scorpion and Tombstone that we see for a brief moment. Zach, I want to get your opinions on that. Like, walk us through what we saw and how do you feel about what we saw?
Yeah, so I feel a lot. It's a lot of pros and cons. So more pros than cons, obviously. I was geeking out. So the comic accuracy, right? We get shot by shot remakes of comic panels in live action.
Yeah.
You have the Scorpion and the Snow panel. You have Ramrod for like 2 seconds. You got Boomerang. All that being said, that's the pros. It was really cool to see. And again, it fills in the gaps, like what's Spider-Man up to for the past 4 or 5 years, however long it's been. And he's been busy. He's full delved into Spider-Man. There's no Peter Parker. So now all he does is he's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He's stopping crime, and he's working hand in hand with the police force, which is really cool to see because we haven't really seen that in the past.
Yeah, it's true.
With any Spider-Man, but especially this one.
Yeah.
My only cons is we didn't see enough of some of those villains. Now, obviously, like Ramrod, Tarantula, like we didn't need to see a whole lot of that. Yeah. That's fine. Like that gives us ideas. There's been villains he's fought, you know, whatever. Yeah. But Tombstone, dude, the way I was like, holy crap,
dude.
Tombstone.
Accurate.
And it was perfect. And that's my one, like, if I had to take a point off, it's for that. It's like we should have seen him again at some point in the film. However brief it would have been, just for the, I don't know. That's such a big Spider-Man villain. I don't know how we just gloss over that one.
Yeah, like he fought him. That's it.
Yeah, you know? Which was still cool. But nothing else, we got that. But I do, and you have the argument that there's so much in this film happening. It's hard to like do anymore.
Yeah, that's definitely something I picked up watching the film is like there's a lot that's like obviously No Way Home took place in 2024. This is probably like 2028, 2029. That's a 4 or 5 year gap that we don't know. Like that's hard to like really cover in one film. And you obviously want Spider-Man to be up to date with the other MCU characters. So like that is a hard thing to do to get to this point. So the montage, I agree. I do wish we got more of like the Hand or Tombstone or Scorpion or anything like that.
Which to that, at least we did get Scorpion like more because of all the characters. Okay, because if we're selecting a character, we need good amount of screen time at Scorpion because that's been since Homecoming in the making. Yeah. And they never
done anything since.
And now we finally got it, and it was worth it because it's like, okay, cool.
We got to see him with his
Scorpion. Yeah. Like that's all we really needed, you know?
Exactly. Well, let's go ahead and talk about the cat the cat's out of the bag.
The cat's out of the bag, yeah.
Ned and MJ they're like roommates. They're going to college without Peter. How do you feel about that? How do you go about like seeing that?
I think it makes sense that they would end up friends anyway. Like, but also like when we'll get into it here in a little bit. The spell, like there's so many layers to that makes sense. But also are kind of like, okay, how much of this is legit, not legit? And like I said, we'll get into the big potatoes of it, if you will, later.
Yes, the big potatoes.
I love that reference.
Yes.
But that being said, I think it was perfect. And also, jumping ahead a little bit here, like seeing through Peter's lens, like how much this has affected him. Like, it's more than just he fully became Spider-Man. It's he has nobody.
Yeah.
Everyone in his life is gone because Aunt May's dead. Happy just isn't in this film at all, and again doesn't even know him. Doctor Strange doesn't know him. There's no connections there. The only people in his life right now are ironically Frank the Punisher, and DeWolf, who's this detective in the NYPD. But even that, they're like working relationships. It's not my friends. It's people I work with or interact with.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
He has no one. And then you see it when he follows Ned to the party later in that scene.
Yeah.
But they just, I'm so glad they didn't show MJ kissing the boyfriend.
Oh yeah, freaking Ezra Bridger over here, dude. Like,
because seeing that in theaters shook me. I was like, wow,
all right,
wow, dude. Like immediately felt Peter's pain, and then that sequence of him just swinging, like no suit, just Peter swinging. I'm like, man, that was
very like it was very similar to like the Spider-Man 2 when he swings after seeing MJ. Obviously,
there's a lot of callbacks.
There's a lot of callbacks to like Tobey Maguire's and Andrew Garfield. So I think that was so cool seeing all that in the movie. But yeah, speaking, you mentioned Punisher. Dude, I want to talk about the Punisher. We got the Punisher in a MCU film, in a feature film for the first time since like 2007. Like, on screen. Like, talk about that.
They did a really good job, a better job than I thought, because I think the consensus was, how are you going to bring Punisher, who's like a TVMA rated R character, into a PG-13 film and it still work?
Yeah.
And there was no moment watching this I didn't feel like it wasn't the same Punisher. Like, it was the same.
Yeah, he was the exact same character.
They kept him to his core, even though, like, obviously we don't have him saying, like, F this, F that, whatever, which he didn't really do a whole lot anyway. That was more so just, that's the whole TVMA stuff. Because even Daredevil, like, that's a whole thing I could go on about. But the actual, I'm talking more like the violence, like, and they did it in a way, because like when they fight Hulk later, like, he could shoot him all he wants, because, and obviously later on the ending, which we'll get there. But, no, Frank was really well done, still true to his character, but also we saw some new sides of Frank we haven't seen, which is like joy, like
that soft side. We kind of saw, we see in the series a little bit with the girl.
Well, they said with what, Russo, and obviously Karen, but like Peter just had that ability to like bring snippets of joy out of Frank, especially towards the end. I'm like, man, that's so cool to like,
dude. When they when Spider-Man took MJ to like his little lair and MJ started looking at his family, I was like, don't touch that, and he's like, immediately, and he was like, I got one rule, and MJ's like, that was 3 rules. I'm like,
classic MJ.
This is great.
But also, like, Frank just trying to be so. Yeah. But no, literally, like, when they showed the cabinet and it's like pictures of his family and stuff, I literally went,
oh, don't touch that.
Like, I just sighed out loud because I'm like, we're not glossing over that one. And that's why I'm like, good, they kept that. That's how it should be, because no matter what you do, and even like later, we'll talk about Jean Grey later, but there's a scene where she like's taking over Frank for a little bit. Yeah. And as soon as she does, it's kind of funny, but also sad. It's like, this guy's got issues.
I know. Like, I was like, yeah, he does.
Of all the people you entered, that's not the one you want to be.
And like one of my favorite parts about Frank, just watching the show and watching him and Daredevil and all that, is that he loves coffee. So him like having coffee and offering Spider-Man coffee, that was great.
Just seeing Spider-Man have coffee was so funny to me.
He's like, you can't even take your freaking mask off to drink coffee. He's like, no. He's like,
literally, dude, it was so funny.
But I want to also talk about. I think this is really funny to me. Yelena. Let's talk about that. Like, just her being her 2 cameos in the film. This is the leader of the Avengers. Mm-hmm. So, what's your thoughts on big potatoes and little potatoes?
Well, because we knew already that Yelena was going to be in this movie. We didn't know how much or the context or any of that. I theorized, it's going to be like a post-credit scene setting up Doomsday, which that didn't happen. We'll talk about that later. But this was perfect because it still kept her as this kind of like, not goofy kid, but she's got a good personality.
Yeah.
She has something that Natasha didn't have. Natasha was always more serious. Like she was kind of funny, but like Yelena's just more. She's the little sister.
Like she's in her own world. She doesn't.
No, literally, like to her, like this is my office. I was like,
all right.
Because I remember, do you remember this was not even a month ago? I think I sent it to you, or we talked briefly about it. But there was a rumor that. It was very construed rumor. There was no like context at all. It just said like rumor, and then it said Peter and Yelena will share a scene where they're both like naked. I'm like, what?
Like, I know, like, how does this make sense?
And it's a PG-13 movie. First of all, second of all, what are we doing? Did we lose the plot here? Like, But now watching, like, okay, that's funny. Like, it's for context. If you haven't seen it, which what are you doing? You should go see it because why are you listening to this? But y'all have actually seen it. Like for context, she's in a pool. They don't show anything.
Yeah,
which
like
again, this is
a little spa sauna,
and this is like if you're gonna do anything weird, this is the way to do it.
Yeah, honestly,
it's covered. We don't want to see that. Like whatever, you know.
Yeah.
All that being said, it was hilarious because then you have Peter still wearing the mask.
Yeah, it's the whole time,
and he's in his undies, and then he gets in the pool, whatever, and it's so funny because like.
The fact they even did that, like, basically, because that skin's on the Insomniac games.
That was a direct reference. The fact
they did that, and, like, there was a lot of references to that game, in my opinion.
So many.
Like, the tanks, obviously the Department of Damage Control.
The finishing moves.
Like.
The gadgets.
Yeah, the gadget webs. Dude. Like, there is a lot of callbacks, and I remember seeing them, like, talk about how they had, like, a lot of the people that liked that game work on this film. I was like, it's very evident. You see it a lot.
And it was, as someone who, like, yeah, I remember when the first game came out, like I pre-ordered it. That was like one of the first times I pre-ordered a game. I pre-ordered it.
Yeah.
Played it first day it came out, and I was in love with it immediately. Yeah. Like, that was such a good game. And
those are fun games.
Yeah. But what's funny is too, Tom Holland was actually talking about this. He actually, like the day before the premiere, he was replaying it again. Like,
cool.
He actually has played the games, and like Zendaya's commented about it before too. But it's just so funny, like picturing Spider-Man playing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like, that's just nonchalant, like, oh, yeah, well, you know, I was really anxious and nervous about all that, so I'm like, I'm just going to play the game. Like, I'm like, he's just one of us. Like,
I also want to get into, well, before that, I just want to say, not to get sidetracked, but I understand Thor's frustration in the trailer.
Dude, he's going to be so pissed.
After seeing Yelena just chilling, I'm like, dude, you have no idea.
Like, but also, like, I think that's the whole irony of this whole situation, right? Because you have the new Avengers who are not equipped for Doom or these, like, big potato situations, but here she is, like, you know what? But that's what's funny. I think the timing of this is crazy because, of course, the new Avengers would be people like who don't have powers, or if they do, they're not equipped for this stuff, and all they're used to is the little stuff because there's nothing big happening right now. I think that's the whole irony of it is when the new Avengers takes place. Like, where's our big threats? They're all contained threats, right? You have like Red Hulk was a contained threat. You have Jean Grey technically is a contained threat, whatever. Like, I don't know, that's the whole thing. But like, it's just hilarious. But yes, Thor is gonna be stressing out
exactly
that whole movie. Like, it's gonna be crazy.
And you know, not speaking of Thor, but this guy was also in Thor's movie. Bruce Banner is back and in a movie and is normal for a little bit. We'll talk about when he hulks out in a little bit.
Right.
But yeah, like it talks about like he's a professor now. He has students. He's like just a chill guy.
He's just trying to have a normal life. And I love most is he's trying to have a normal life. He is a professor at ESU. And I love to, because I remember when this was announced, like, and we didn't know the full context. Obviously, we're going to see Hulk, but okay, why is he a professor, whatever? And literally in it, he's like, trying to teach actual physics and stuff. And one of the students goes, asks him an Avengers because he's like, go ahead, like, and the question is what's on everyone's mind. And I brought this up several times in the past. If Thanos had all the stones, it could get rid of have to. Why didn't he just make like double the resources if that was the issue? And I love it. And the best thing is they address it, knowing like this is not a flaw, but this is like something that everyone talked
like
about.
A question that everyone has.
Yeah, and they answer it by not answering it.
Yeah, because when like the dude dressed in green is like Hulk smash, I'm like, yo, that's just so funny to me.
That was awesome.
That is so awesome. But yeah, and then I also want to talk about because before we talk about probably one of my favorite scenes in the film, we get the reveal of Sadie Sink, her character, finally revealed after a year of her being announced in the film. No one's known. People's guessed a lot. A lot of people guessed right. She is Jean Grey.
Yeah.
In a Spider-Man movie. Let's talk about it.
I love it for several reasons. One, like, because we've talked about it, and I'm pretty sure we had an episode in the past where we literally just talked about the Spider-Man trailer. And one of the things we talked about was,
who is she?
And I'm pretty sure even then Jean Grey was one of them, but like we said, Firestar or whatever. But as it got closer, all the like signs were pointing it's got to be Jean Grey. All the trailers, all like it just And that's something too I want to talk about here in a little bit. That kind of bothered me was the oversaturation of pushing stuff out. But that's a whole nother thing in a little bit. But it was perfect. And also, like, I love too, it makes sense the way she's introduced. It's not like she's been around forever. But also we're gonna have an actual young cast of X-Men finally.
Yes, I'm like so excited for that. Like at the end of the film when she's on the bus, I thought she was gonna pull up to the mansion.
Dude, I thought so too.
Then I saw a meme. It was like, y'all gotta explain why the mutants weren't involved with anything. Mm-hmm. But I'm sure they'll explain that. I'm sure the incursions will do all that, and that's a whole nother topic for later.
Right, and there's layers to it, but it's good. But also that direct link I love because Spider-Man and X-Men have so many crossovers in the comics. Yeah. And it's poetic the way they did this, but also the repercussions of some of the things Peter did is going to be crazy down the line if they do what I think they're going to do. But
and then I want to talk about my favorite scene in the film. I'm sorry. This is had me geeking out that this is on a live action movie, a Marvel movie in our faces. So we had Spider-Man and the Punisher in the same room fighting the Hulk in the same room as Jean Grey. And Jean Grey's just controlling the Hulk or whatever. But the fact that Jean Grey, the Hulk, Punisher, and Spider-Man are in the exact same room. In the same room. In the exact same movie. That's something we've never seen in live action ever before.
Well, okay, like, put it this way. You have a street level hero, Spider-Man, who has been in Defenders. He's been in the Avenger. He's kind of been in everything. Yeah. He's that constant leak in Marvel Comics, right? You have the Hulk, who is an Avenger. You have Punisher, who again is kind of like Midnight Suns, somewhat Defenders in the comics for a brief stint. Yeah. But he's kind of same thing. Then you have Jean Grey as the X-Men. You have almost every representation of Marvel except the Fantastic Four in one room.
Exactly.
Like that's so rare. And also I think that's why this movie is ranked so high for me. Like at the end, when it's all said and done, because it's like, dude, this is like, in my opinion, this is as crazy we're gonna get until Secret Wars. Because even Doomsday, like we're gonna have X-Men, like whatever, right? But still, like we're not guaranteed Spider-Man. Like that's a whole other conversation. But like this is a precursor to like how crazy. I feel like I genuinely feel like that's Feige's way of being like, see, now imagine this to where your brain explodes.
Yeah, like, basically. And then honestly, this movie gave me like so much hope for like the soft reboot and everything. Like, hey, these characters are gonna cross over and it's gonna be fine. Like,
yes,
breathe.
And what you said, soft reboot, because like in regard to Hulk, right? No mention of Scar, his son. No mention of She-Hulk. Yeah. So in a way, it's almost like they're like
already kind of easing into it already.
Yeah, like they're kind of like making it like that didn't happen. Whether that stays that way or not, who knows? But as of now, you can basically watch it as if She-Hulk never happened. Yeah, which is something interesting because that's something on my mind is like, how do you pick and choose the good and get rid of some of the bad that isn't going to move forward, obviously. But no, that, like you said, and that was my favorite part of the movie too. It was just as a whole. Yes. It was just like boom, 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 like craziness.
Yeah. Let's talk about probably like it was definitely it was one of the saddest, probably not the saddest, but one like top 3 saddest things in the movie. MJ doesn't remember.
When
oh my gosh!
Before we talk about that specific scene, I want to rewind a little bit. Another very sad scene. The one you're referencing is way sadder, obviously. But this one where it had me for a second thinking she remembered when Jean took over.
Oh yeah, dude,
MJ.
that was so dirty by Jean, bro.
I was like, no. When Peter literally said, "What you just did is unforgivable," I'm like, I hate you.
I know, bro. I was like,
are we serious? That's why when the reveal that she's Jean Grey too is like hits so much harder. It's like you're supposed to be a hero. Like
the Phoenix is already coming out.
Oh my god, I didn't even think
so
about that.
early.
But no, it is crazy. But like again, like dude, the dialogue. I want to talk about the dialogue real quick.
Yes.
Because also props to Zendaya. She did such a good job of like, you know how hard it is to act like someone. It sounds silly. Act like someone else in a movie. But like in the terms of you're already playing someone else.
Yeah.
Like there's very rare occasions where that's worked well. And this is one of them. But literally when she's saying like, go ahead, Peter, touch her, feel her. I'm like, oh, that's so messed up. Bro. And then she just falls in the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man parallel. I want to do a side-by-side of that scene with the Gwen scene. It is, I kid you not, the same. Yeah. I'm sorry. It is the same. And it worked. I fell for it. I loved it.
Yes.
And again, I, for a split second, was like, she remembers. Yes. Even to the MJ nod to like classic MJ with the mask. Mm-hmm. I was like,
yeah.
But no, that whole scene was great. But now I'll let you take the wheel for the other sad part of the scene.
Dude, like freaking, obviously Spider-Man goes and fights like the Hulk and all of them, right? And then he comes back and MJ's there with his letter to her from No Way Home. He's been carrying it around forever. And she's already read it. And she's like, dude, what the heck? Why didn't you tell me? And he's like, I'm sorry. And then she's like, I don't love you. I don't know you. I'm like, oh, broke everyone's heart.
It hurts so hard because literally because him finally. Because again, I talk about dialogue. That's something I always love in movies. But this one's so good. It's in terms of like he's pouring his heart out. This is like 4 to 5 years of pent up like love that he hasn't been able to tell anyone, especially the one he loves, because he can't, to protect her. But also like it just in his mind, it's like, what's the point? He literally says that one. He's like, what would be the point?
Yeah.
And he finally says it, and he says, I love you. And yeah, to hear her like say, I'm grateful for what you did for her.
Yeah.
And then say like, but I don't love you. I don't even know you. I was like, oh.
And then everyone comparing it to Peter Quill.
Thank you. Yes.
I'm like, yeah.
It is
like, it's pretty much the same.
It is quite literally the same.
Yeah.
I really do hope we get an interaction between the two Peters in the future of that topic. Oof.
That's rough.
It's tough.
But then it also reminded us that like, yo, bros, Ned.
Dude, Ned was so good in this. It's still Ned, and I love to like. Again, there's layers to that too. But I know I keep saying that, but there's so much in this movie to dissect. But that being said, Ned literally like I love. He's obsessed with Spider-Man, and the whole thing is like he wants to not to unmask him, but he just wants to thank him.
Yeah, because he still has the memories.
He remembers. Oh, but Spider-Man was like no one knows who Peter is, and I love to like that whole scene in the apartment where she's like, "You want to come up and talk to Ned?"
Yeah,
and then the look on his face, he's just like,
yeah,
like. And I'm sorry, like, okay, it hits home for me on several levels. One, as someone who loves Legos, collects Legos, build Legos. That I think that's one reason I've always liked this Spider-Man. And, like, I'll go into that later, too. But that scene of him building Legos with Ned, I'm like, do you, like, that hit home. Because I'm like,
bro. There's
no greater feeling than doing the hobby you love with your best friend. Yeah. Like us, it's movies always. Like when I see a movie with my best friend, it's like, dude, like there's nothing like it. So that resident, but then also like he's wearing the mask the whole time.
Dude, that's like the coolest.
The coolest thing with this movie is this is the most masked Spider-Man we've ever seen.
Okay, I was thinking about that. I was like, I really want someone to like really dissect all the movies, like screen time of actually Spider-Man with his mask.
This has got to be number one.
Not Spider-Man fighting with a ripped mask, not Spider-Man fighting without his mask, like full. And I think this is, I agree. I think this is the one. I think the only one that's like would even like compete is Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yes, that's what I was about to say.
But besides that, it's got to be this one. It's got
100%. And but like that's the beauty of it too is like, and then she's like sketching, and I didn't even catch that she was sketching till she reveals it.
Yeah, that dude, the callback. Oh, dude, that was such a good callback.
So many callbacks. Yes, in this movie, but she did it with his mask off, and I'm like, Oh, dude, like,
oh, she's got a good memory.
You're gut punching me right now.
But yeah, that whole scene and him just being like, "This is the most fun I had in years." I'm like, dude, he's depressed. We love it.
Literally. But like, but that's the beef too. That's when we finally see like the healing take place.
Yes.
Like, he's finally coming back to who he used to be. But also like, yeah, because this whole movie like is a metaphor for grief, but also just depression and loneliness. Like, and that hits so home for so many people. I know it hit home for me, but I'm like, dude, this is, gosh, it's so good.
Yeah. But yeah, that whole thing was really good. And I want to talk about that kind of the end of the film with obviously Peter saving Jean and them having that connection. And I just think that's so beautiful. Just Peter and Jean just interacting is just so cool. I think this year for like superhero movies is pretty dope because we're seeing a lot of first time interactions this year alone. Like we've never seen Superman and Supergirl talk on screen before. So that's one. We've never seen all four of these characters on screen before, except for Spider-Man, the Hulk, and Spider-Man Brand New Day. And in Doomsday, we're going to see the Fantastic Four interact with so many characters that we've never seen. They've never interacted with anybody except for Human Torch and the Deadpool and Wolverine. But besides that, like Reed Richards has never interacted with Thor. Like that's something that's like we've never seen before. So like there's just that one thing with like superhero movies right now is just such a beauty and such like a great time to be alive. But I want to talk about the end scene. Punisher, freaking the GOAT.
Dude,
like obviously he's Jean's obviously going crazy right now, right? She's like having a breakdown, right? And she's kind of taking over the whole city. Spider-Man is doing what Spider-Man does. He's trying to talk her out of it. He's trying to help her. Punisher is doing what Punisher does. He's trying to kill her.
And thank you for saying it because I think whether you've watched the show or not or whatever, like if you know the character of Punisher even a little bit from the comics and stuff, at the end of the day, like he doesn't have a no-kill rule. Like he will go there if necessary. And this is a moment where, like it or not, like it was necessary to him.
Exactly.
So, and that's why it's so impactful. Like, and I'm rewatching like the whole Defender saga right now because some of it I haven't seen. Like I've never seen the Punisher show or or all of Jessica Jones, whatever. So I'm in Daredevil season 2 right now, and there's a scene where he's talking to Karen, and he says, like his military too, like, if I wanted you dead, you'd be dead. Yeah. And this is reflected in that because he shot for Jean.
Yes.
And the only reason he missed is because Peter got in front of the bullet and saved her. And dude, I was about to start bawling my eyes out because the pool of blood.
Yes, that sold it, dude. Oh my gosh.
I was like, nah, they're capping. I saw the blood. I went, oh, he's dead.
No, for real.
I thought he was dead.
Dude, I started tearing up. I was like, no way. And then when Punisher like was holding him like the comic, that was cool.
That was such a cool panel. Yes, that one, yes.
And then he's like, when just Punisher caring for him is just so beautiful. But like him sitting outside the waiting room, I'm like, is he gonna be okay? Like,
yes. And I think that's something to take note of is immediately after the shot hits and he realizes he shot Spider-Man, his face just drops. Instant regret. And this is the first time that I can recall him like having remorse for trying to kill someone. Yeah. Because because everyone he's killed, he's like, nope, that was valid. Yeah. Like, and you, if you're a viewer of the show or whatever like media you've seen, it's like for love it or hate it to a degree, you can be like, yeah, like he got a point. Like,
no, that was like I was literally just thinking about this right now. Like technically, like, and this can be like a double advocate game. This could go both ways. This could even be a really good debate. But technically, Spider-Man and Punisher were both right. Punisher was trying to save the city, and he was doing it the only way he knew. And then Spider-Man was also trying to save the city. And if one of them succeeded, they would have both saved the city.
It's the duality of and I think that's, you can take any hero with a no kill rule, and a character with I'll do it if necessary, or like I'll straight up just do it, and you can argue from both sides their validity because it gets the job done one way or another, just like Daredevil and Punisher, and I'll bring up Daredevil later, but because it's reflected in that, and it's the same thing where Spider-Man's like, I'm not gonna kill someone because at the end of the day, like, that's not what a hero does. Exactly. And, like, there's always good in someone. Yeah. And even with Jean, he saw it. And that's, like, the whole thing. But I love it. And, again, like, we talked about the pool of blood. But, like, because I was going in this movie considering, like, man, Peter, the way they're talking about this movie, Peter might die. Like,
yeah,
because I had the theory of he's going to die and take on the symbiote suit and all that, which we didn't get. And honestly, we'll probably see symbiote suit in Secret Wars. Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation. Yeah. But they did a good job in that ending scene. And I want to talk real quick. I know I'm kind of long-winded here, but I want to talk about that hospital scene because I know you're going to love talking about this.
Yes, bro. That was such a good scene.
Him putting on the Spider-Man mask.
Bro. I'm like, I didn't expect anything like that from Punisher ever.
It was so I don't want to say out of character because I think by the end of this movie, Punisher changed a little.
Yeah.
Since seeing Peter, like truly seeing Peter, like that changed him a little bit. And I'm curious how that's going to carry forward with his journey in the future projects.
Exactly.
But all to just this scene is like from the outside window, you just see him like with the mask. He's just waving, but then it's inside behind you hear him. He's like, doing his classic like screech. I was like, bro, this is hilarious.
It's so great. I'm so happy we got to see the Punisher in a film. In the with Spider-Man out of all characters, like
oh yeah, dude, it's amazing.
Say it again.
I didn't even mean to do it that time. It'd be so real.
But yeah, and then I really do hope this kind of does lead to the X-Men. I was hoping we see Charles. I really was hoping. I was hoping we get like somebody new as Charles, just like in a wheelchair or just talking to him, or even just like a foot like sitting next to just like something like anonymous where it was like, yeah, that's Charles, and then they could explain later why they weren't in game or all that. But that was just something I was really hoping for. But organic webs.
Oh, dude, that was sick.
That was weird, but that was cool.
It was weird. Also, I love that he references Toby, obviously Peter too, which
he was cool.
Was cool. But also, I love he's just kind of like repulsed by. He's like, I'm like, okay, let's be real. If that happened to any of us, that's gonna be our reaction.
Exactly.
Too.
You're like, why?
Toby's reaction is not normal to like it's cool, but also when he's like, he kind of does the go web go thing for a second. That's a callback. Again, cool. If we just made a list of callbacks,
there's so many.
It would take a whole nother like episode to do that because there's so many callbacks.
Gotta watch the new Rockstar guy, bro.
Eric Voss is amazing. Shout out Eric Voss.
Absolutely breaks down every little thing.
And it's funny because when me and Joseph, my buddy Joseph, when we saw the movie, the first thing we said after it is like, man, we gotta watch like new Rockstar's Eric Voss breakdown of this because that's the guy.
Like we give our opinions, he gives facts.
He's the best non-biased Marvel reviewer.
Yeah, because he just breaks it down. He's just like, this is what this was.
Like love or hate. This is what this callback was. That's saying like you can't even love or hate whatever because he doesn't have a take. It's just. And he theorizes, but he's never like, I want this. He's like, here's what I think's going to happen.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know. I really like him. He's really cool. But yeah, the organic webs was so sick. And I love too, he tried to put the web shooters on.
Yeah, and
they just shoot off anyway.
Yeah. And I think, I love all the Magneto memes right now. But I think that's like such a funny just like plot is like, he doesn't like being like, not like he's not a mutant, but he doesn't like the mutation,
the mutating DNA.
Yeah,
and there's a big distinction because even like in the old TV cartoon shows and comic, like that's a big thing. It's like Spider-Man's technically not. He's not a mutant because he wasn't born with it. He has a mutation. There's a big difference.
It was come from the spider.
Yeah, like Jean was born a mutant, and like so that's a whole thing. But also, I love you bringing up Magneto. For those wondering, like. The whole meme right now is like Magneto's gonna freaking kill Spider-Man because he
doesn't want to be mutated.
That, but also like, and I'm glad you kind of subtly brought this up because I've been wanting to talk about this with the connection with Spider-Man and the X-Men in the future. Love it or hate it, he is now responsible for the technology that is suppressing mutant DNA.
Yeah, that's true.
And he's once again gonna have to wrestle with the repercussions of his actions, which is a common theme. And I like, here we go. Like this guy cannot catch a break, but
just like his mentor, R.I.P.
Literally, dude. That's such a good comparison.
Oh, that's a whole nother topic. We're gonna have to talk about like next time you're on. We'll talk about the soft reboot.
Oh, 100%.
What we think is gonna stay and not gonna stay, and who's gonna because like just think about Iron Man. I'm like, wonder who. But that's a whole nother thing.
No, we'll definitely table that for the next time.
Something is like I have questions about. I think one of the questions that like after watching it with my dad and my brother, we were like, what? He doesn't have a job. How does he survive? Like that's something. It's not like a plot hole, and I feel like you can obviously with all the other Spider-Man films, you can just like assume he's like where he's working or what he's working for, but he doesn't have a job. Like they've never mentioned that he's making money off of photography or delivering pizzas or anything like that.
Yeah, and to answer that, like I can't speak for Marvel because Marvel is notorious for having plot holes at times.
Yeah.
That's just the nature of the job. Star Wars has the same problem. DC has the same problem. Any franchise has that problem when you're doing stuff for 5+ years.
Yeah.
That being said, I can say from my point of view, I think they get a pass on this one because think about it. The very first scene in his apartment, he has a fabricator and he has his own version of Jarvis, who's Evie, I think is the name. He has it's not Evie. Karen anymore, it's Evie, which I thought that was funny. He like made a whole new thing. So we know he designed it. But also, where do you think he got all that technology from? Stark Industries. Even though Peter Parker's gone, I think it's safe to say that Tony still left him stuff, which means he probably left him money somewhere. So like that's
probably is it. But I'm also thinking, and when we first see him in Civil War, he's a dumpster diver.
He's very intuitive, so I think it's safe to say he could easily
he's definitely the type of guy who would
dumpster dive and make that stuff. And he's smart. People forget this is the smartest Spider-Man we've seen on screen.
Dumpster dive and then flip it. Like I feel like he's a marketplace type of dude. I feel like he is.
Oh, you know he's on Facebook Marketplace.
He's 100% like whatever they got going on there.
Yeah.
Well, there's Instagram, so
they got something.
Dude, I love like theories like that. Like, okay, if there's Instagram, then that means there's Meta. If there's Meta, that means there's Facebook. That means there is Facebook Marketplace in the MCU. Confirmed, not playing.
Yeah, but it's just funny because like even like real quick to talk to that, like we have a lot of product placement in this film, which I thought was funny. We have Little Caesars, the Samsung flip phone.
Yeah, that was like the whole thing.
And there's something else I can't remember at the moment, but there was a lot. I just think that's funny because we've talked a lot in the past about product placement in movies. It's always hilarious because it never bothers us because it's just like a funny like, oh hey, because also it brings normalcy to it because like I think sometimes movies have a magic to it. We forget that like it's not. Sometimes I feel like movies get too caught up in that's not relatable.
Yeah,
but when you have products like it's a little bit more real because it's like, what do you mean Little Caesars is in Spider-Man's apartment?
It's like, well, it's pizza, son. Like, and he's broke, so
that is such a good point.
But this too, do you think MJ is like? I've seen theories that like Jean Grey might have like jogged her and Ned's memory. I've seen theories about that. Maybe she did. To an extent. Do you think MJ is still his future romance, or could we see like a Mary Jane or a Gwen Stacy or a Black Cat?
I really hope we get a Black Cat in the MCU because that would be really and it would work for this one for that to be a love interest. But I think because I've seen the rumors too, and we'll talk about Ned in a second. That's a whole nother conversation. But with MJ, she literally tells, okay, there's two things that before this event happens. Earlier when Jean possesses her, says like, man, there's like no memories up here of you at all.
Yeah.
Like. So at one point you're like, oh, maybe this is her just like trying to screw with him, to make him like more complacent to helping her. But also later on, MJ confirms when she says, I don't love you, because she's like, well, the spell worked because I don't remember you. Like she remembers Spider-Man, but she does not remember anything about Peter Parker because that just doesn't exist.
Exactly.
But later in the apartment, we see Ned and MJ frozen in time because I forgot, it was like some 100-kilometer radius, whatever. Yeah. If I'm wrong, sue me. But she is like controlling everyone, and we see a close up of MJ, and she starts crying, which is weird because no one else is having that reaction. Which I think it's intentional because what if the memories are flooding back, or at least more snippets of it, in a way? Because also remember, this version of Jean is now stronger because she was like in a small radius limit, and now she's not. So what's to say her powers didn't increase where she can restore memories?
Exactly.
So I think it's a fair assumption to say that. But also later we see the last shot we see of MJ is she's on a rooftop, which is the rooftop of the Earl High School building, where a lot of No Way Home took place. She's holding the Dahlia. Yeah. And she's clearly reminiscing about something. Yeah. So clearly there is something there. And I think they're doing that for future installments to like keep it going, you know, or whatever, to make it interesting. But yeah, I think that's fair to say. I think on some level she remembers something. Yes. But also like now and I think it's mixing with what she was already told. So like, I don't know. I think it's a fair assumption.
And then Ned, the handshake.
Dude, that made me tear up a little. I'm not going to lie. I think
that's like that was probably the best like ending for the film.
Well, also like I love too, because there's a split second where it's like, Well, because he walks up, it's like, and he says, "I'm Peter," and Ned is no reaction. He's like, "Oh, you're the flower guy." What? Like, what? Because of course he doesn't remember his name because it was a party, whatever, and whatnot. But I love that. Then Peter like reaches and like just shaking hand, but then he starts it, and immediately muscle memory kicks in, and they do the whole thing, and then Ned like looks at him, and then he's like, Peter, but he says it how he used to, and then you just see like Tom Holland smiling. I'm like, oh, that was so good. That smile, like,
oh man,
and I love like that. Just my gosh, that was so cool. Because I'm like, but that's proof that Ned remembers.
If Ned remembers.
So MJ could definitely remember, and anyone could to a degree. So that means the spell isn't as foolproof as we thought.
Yeah. I think something that was like kind of beautiful about this film is like I really want, like I feel like going into it, like everyone was like, I really want him to have MJ remember. No one like even really thought about Ned. They're like, Ned's just gonna become the Hobgoblin. That was like pretty much it. Everyone's like, we need MJ to remember. But like halfway through the film, mostly like when MJ is like, I don't love you, you're like, wait, I really do want Ned to remember more than her because
I did too.
We want him to like just be happy,
Because you got to remember, before MJ, Ned's all you like,
he's always been there.
Ned is the heart and soul of these Spider-Man movies from start to finish.
Yeah.
Who was the first person besides Tony to figure out Peter Parker was Spider-Man?
Exactly.
Ned.
Yeah.
Who was the first person to help him and like knew how he felt about MJ? Ned. Who was there covering for, like, he's always been that guy.
Yeah.
And their friendship has carried through all of this. So of course it makes sense he's the one to remember, but also like, dude, you can't sit there and watch every scene with Peter and MJ and Peter and Ned in this movie and say you'd rather Peter and MJ when they're literally building Legos and like he's so happy, bro.
Man. Yeah, like, man, that's so great. I'm so happy. Like,
you can't replace friendship no matter what. That is the level, and I don't know. I love that. Like, and also like my someone else that I know, like we were talking about theories and stuff, and he made a good point too. He's like, also remember Ned's part magic.
This is true.
So that's another layer we're not considering is maybe he has some kind of
magic.
Like I don't, because I forgot all about that little side plot. I was like, oh crap, he does have magic.
I totally forgot about that. That's so cool.
So like I said, there's layers upon layers. But all that matters is at the end of this is our boy Peter's back. He's starting to get happy again.
Yes.
He's not living alone anymore. He's in that line of when Jesus says, you need to decide, are you Peter Parker or are you Spider-Man? And he goes, I'm both. Yeah. And just like, that was that whole scene was so cool
with him in the hand and everything. Something I do like about this film is it's definitely like, I think it's very evident that it's a building block, right? I think I remember them talking like in the past. I don't know who said it, but they're like they want to do 3 different trilogies with Tom Holland, and it's kind of evident because at the end of Homecoming there was a cliffhanger, which was Aunt May finding out that he was Spider-Man, right? And at the end of Far From Home there was a cliffhanger, everyone finding out that he was Spider-Man, and then in No Way Home, no cliffhanger, it ended. He's Spider-Man on his own. Game over. Now this movie ends with a cliffhanger. Ned remembers, maybe, or Ned has a handshake.
Yeah.
And then what are we gonna get in the next one? Is there gonna be another cliffhanger, or I don't know? But you can tell it's definitely like a building block. Like there's so much more story to tell with Spider-Man, with this Spider-Man at least.
And that's a really good point. Also, like the parallels are cool too. You mentioned Homecoming. Think of it that like the other 2 Spider-Man movies, we didn't see a grounded Spider-Man.
Exactly.
The Homecoming, like we kind of did, but he was always trying to be like the Avenger. And now it's the opposite. He's going from now he's like trying to be the neighborhood Spider-Man that does the small potato stuff. Like that's who he wants to be, and he doesn't want to be anything more than that. And he just wants all the opposite things the old him wanted, and that shows maturity too. Is like this is a mature Spider-Man. This is an adult Spider-Man, and we're actually seeing that. But I really love too, like you said, it's the start of a new like era of Spider-Man, because again, just think about this for a moment. This is the most Spider-Man consecutive movies we've had since Tobey Maguire.
Oh yeah,
because we've never had more than 3.
Exactly. We have 4 now.
We have 4 now, and for sure getting 6 because they said this is a new trilogy.
Yeah.
But if it goes another 3, that's crazy, and I'm all for it because, dude. And that's the thing. Cool. Like, I want to talk about 2 real quick. So I had kind of hinted about this earlier. Me and you have talked about like everyone has a favorite Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yours was Andrew Garfield, if I'm not mistaken.
No, mine's Tobey Maguire.
It is Tobey Maguire. Okay, so I was wrong. So I know mine was Andrew Garfield. But we talked about.
But there's like a whole like. Like I guess I'm considered an old head now, but
Same.
Yeah, I grew up with Tobey Maguire,
and I did too. So
Spider-Man 2 is my favorite Spider-Man film of all time.
And that makes more sense now. Someone, maybe, I don't know. I'm mistaking someone said Andrew. It doesn't matter. All I'm saying is mine was Andrew, and I still love Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. And again, I grew up on Tobey. At one point in my life, all of them were my favorite.
Yeah.
And now it's Tom Holland. I cannot, like, I can never get fully on that train like everyone else. But now after this movie, it's convinced me, because it's like I relate to him now, because like as an adult, that's the thing too. Like,
think about it. We grew up with him.
We did. Thank you. I was about to get to that point, because like we watched Homecoming when we were in high school.
Yeah.
And when we watched Far From Home, we were about to graduate high school. When we watched No Way Home, we had graduated high school and we either starting college or figuring out college or whatever. And now, like, we're adults, like, with our careers, and it's like, wow, this is the most relatable Spider-Man.
It really is. Yeah.
Like, also, like, dude, like the fact, like, he likes Legos. It's the little corny stuff that's like, I kind of see myself in that. Exactly, like, I can relate, but also that loneliness, that needing those friendship, and realizing like you can't live life alone. Like, I love that parallel, because I'm like, man, I can see that in myself, you know?
Yeah.
So now I'm going to have to say Tom Holland's my favorite, which is great, because if you asked me 5 years ago, I'd be like, I like Tom, but he's never going to be my favorite. Like, I just never, you know, had that resonation as hard. But now I'm like, dude, like, I'm wrong.
Something I will say, he's the best.
Yeah, undoubtedly.
Like, that's 100%. Like, because I watched Homecoming again, and just watching like the first part of Homecoming of him just being the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, you're just like, dude, this guy's like, even just that alone is just like, I feel like just like seals the deal of him being the best. But then him now being like in the city and being an adult now is just like, yeah, he's the best. I still think I still think Tobey Maguire is the best Peter Parker. I still think Andrew Garfield's the best Spider-Man. That's just my opinion. But
Tom is a good
all together, like, the best, like, he's the best as, not the best as Peter, like, he's the best of both worlds, if you will.
Yeah. And I agree. And I think that's the point I was trying to allude to or get at, is because we've always had, like, I've always said too, like, best Peter Parker. And best, you know, like, so I agree. And but after this movie, I'm like, I see, and it makes me happy, because I'm like, man, so not only is like he my favorite now, but also like I get to see him for at least another 5 years.
Exactly.
Like, he's the longest running Spider-Man. I was doing the math. He has been Spider-Man since 2016. He has been Spider-Man for 10 years.
Exactly. Yeah.
The funny part is he's only acted as Spider-Man for 5, but that's not important. He's been Spider-Man for 10 years.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. No, it's exciting, and I can't wait. I mean, that was his, I mean, I know it's his 4th movie, but it's his, or I know it's the 4th Spider-Man movie, but it's his 6th, or it's his 7th film, because you got Civil War, and
Civil War. That's 3. Yeah, 7. This is 7.
He's on 7, so that's pretty fun. But I want to talk about the post-credit scene.
Yeah.
Who do you think it is? Do you think it's Tom? Do you think it's Andrew, Toby? Do you think Battle World is a different universe? I
love this question, because I've only talked to you about it, and then Joseph. I haven't talked to anyone else yet, because either haven't had the chance to, or like not everyone has seen it.
Yeah.
But everyone has a different opinion on this, and I love that. And that's what I was just talking about this to a friend earlier today. Is we're back in that stage of Marvel theories.
Yes.
And we haven't had Marvel theories to this level since Endgame. Well, obviously we had the No Way Home stuff, but on this level. Like, and you said earlier today in our friend group is, dude, this is like the closest we've had to Infinity War.
Yeah.
Since Infinity War. And I'm like, dude, yes, I agree. Like, this is
the same vibe.
It is the exact same vibe. It's like you have this impending doom. I didn't mean it like that, but Thanos, whatever. This is what happens when you take a sabbatical. It all comes out at once.
It's coming.
Yeah.
12/18.
Dude, it's crazy. Dude, all the countdown. I could talk about.
Oh man.
But that being said, I personally think it's Tobey's Spider-Man.
I agree with.
And I felt like you were going to.
I was like,
here I'm gonna say why, and I'll let you say why. Which again, probably the same. But I think it's Tobey because it glitches a little bit, and it goes to outer space. It's in outer space, and the rumors for Doomsday. If you're not wanting. I can't say this is a Doomsday spoiler because it's not confirmed.
It's more of a theory.
It's a theory. There's no confirmation of this at all. This is all speculation. People have made the rumor online. There's no footage of this, so therefore it's not real. Still, if you want to keep to yourself, click off real quick. The rumor is Tobey's universe is going to explode or detonate, whatever you want to...
destroyed.
It's gone. Tobey's world is going bye-bye. Not necessarily Tobey, but Peter 2's world is going bye-bye. And the theory is that Doomsday is going to open with Deadpool and Wolverine fighting Tobey's Spider-Man while one of them's planting a bomb that the TVA gave them to like stop the world incursion from happening, right?
Yeah.
So there's that rumor, but also I think just in general, I don't even think it's that deep. I think that I'm going to rewind the clock real quick. Do you remember the Thunderbolts post-credit scene where it's a very snip, quick little second, but Yelena's talking about this thing in space that everyone's talking about?
Yeah.
We don't
know what it is.
It's not the Fantastic Four because that was a separate thing, but no one has talked about that, and I feel like that's such an overlooked thing.
Yeah.
Now it's important because I think that's an incursion actively happening, and it's a world coming into their world.
Yeah.
And I think it's Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man universe.
Yeah.
Which is why Spider-Man pops up in space. And notice it still says unknown.
Yeah.
And my last little nail in the coffin here, it says Spider-Man will return.
Yes.
It didn't say which one.
Exactly.
We don't even know if Tom's going to be in Doomsday. It could literally be, guess what? It was Tobey's Spider-Man in Doomsday. Or it could be both of them. I think if you get one, you're getting both, in my opinion. At least from Tobey. If you get Tobey, you're getting both of them. Maybe Andrew, but for sure both of them.
Yeah. Because
there's no way you don't without them, without that connection, right? So that's what I think. I'm going to let you take the floor now.
Yeah, I just think it's Tobey Maguire. I do think I agree with the theory. I do think it's cooked, but I don't want it to happen. Like... That's like
I will cry.
That's the universe we grew up on. It's like that's like the golden age of like Marvel superheroes, or just superhero films in general. You know, like I really don't want that to happen. But I think it's Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
Just out of all the theories and everything that's kind of come out.
So little side question to that. This just kind of popped in my head. If they do, like, okay, because we're gonna go see it opening day. Super set. We got tickets like the day of. That was a whole fun
Infinity Vision.
The future. But we got tickets, and I want to know your thoughts. So we're watching Avengers Doomsday, and the cold open is just, you hear Tobey's thing, and it's just Tobey swinging on the screen, and everyone's gonna go nuts.
Yeah,
that reaction that usually comes later on in a movie and stuff for Marvel. But I said at the beginning, but then immediately we realize his world is like on the verge of collapse, whether that means like that theory is true with Deadpool and Wolverine, or if it's like whether the world explodes and he survives or he dies. However they do it, it's going to be impactful, and it'll be the boldest thing they've done ever in a project. But also, like, what I want to know from you is if they do that, like, regardless how the rest of the movie goes, like that, but that's the starting point. Yeah. Do you think, starting out with that, this could be the best Avengers movie to date? That's a big question.
Dude, that is a big question. I think if they come out with him swinging with the music, with his music, after a Marvel Studios intro with the Marvel Studios music, I think it would.
Yeah, I'm kind of right there too.
Especially like if that happens, and then like all this other like Avengers stuff happens, you're like, yo, what?
And that's the starting point, right?
Because then you're already like gut punching a whole generation. You're like, yo, you're taking us back to the, oh my gosh.
Wait, I think that would be such a crazy way. Because like, again, like, because it could be a point like Tobey is still, I think if Tobey shows up in Doomsday, he shows up again in Secret Wars, he's not going to stay dead, or like they could do the whole thing where he gets out of the nick of time, or his universe is also, like, they could do that, like his universe is gone, and he's all that remains, and now he's out for revenge. Like, he wants to get whoever did this.
Man, that's so,
which leads to Spider-Man versus Doom. Like,
that would, gosh,
it would be crazy. But like, it's all speculation. But
dang, that would be like,
and if it opens with that, but that means like, okay, if they're doing this, anything can. I think too, it establishes from this point on in this movie, anything can happen. Yeah, because no one expected like them to actually do this. Yeah, you know? So I would love that. But also, like, then it puts it into the microscope of, yes, the movie's Doomsday and it's establishing and it's about Doom, but this is part one of Secret Wars. Like, let's call it what it is, you know?
Yeah. Man, that would be crazy.
It would be crazy.
Like him, like wanting revenge for like MJ, and he probably, if he has a daughter,
if he has but if he does, that's even more like. But yeah, it's like his whole world. Like, because also, like, of all the characters, who better than Spider-Man, who literally like his number one thing is protecting his home, which is New York, but then his whole world, like, in more ways than one, like, that's crazy.
That would be crazy. Gosh, man. Spider-Man Brand New Day was so great. Mm-hmm. You have it as your second, right?
Yeah, so real quick, Spider-Man movies.
Top three.
Top three Spider-Man movies, it's No Way Home's number one.
Yep.
Then Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire.
Okay, yeah. So mine's Spider-Man 2, No Way Home, and then Brand New Day.
Yeah.
So.
Which is like, it's very...
That's the thing about, like, I don't think there's a bad Spider-Man movie at all.
There's not. They're all good.
Yeah, they're all good.
At base level, they're all good. They fluctuate from there to your own personal opinion.
Yes.
They're all good, though.
Yeah.
And that's what I love. And I like, no one's list is the same, I feel like. I feel like there's a lot of similarities, but there's always...
preferences, you know?
We'll segue from that to a bit later. But, no, it was really, really good. And obviously, like, I'm more biased to No Way Home because the nostalgia of all three Spider-Man, but also, like, dude, that movie's pacing was... Everything about that movie was perfect. Like, I gave that...
perfect, yeah.
Like, that's one of my rare movies I gave a 10 out of 10 just because, like, it hit all the levels it needed to. And this one, and Brand New Day was good. It was, like, it was a little under that for me. It's like... And again, it's hard because it's like, that's why I don't...
like, it's Spider-Man. Like,
yeah, Spider-Man. Yeah. But, like, also, like, when I watch a movie, I'm not watching it like, all right, I'm going to compare it to this movie and this movie. Yeah. I'm like... It's like, this is the first movie I've ever seen, you know, and I'm like going to give it my raw visceral reaction, all that. But that's a whole other topic of conversation.
Exactly. Before we like kind of give our closing thoughts on Brand New Day, I just want to say one of my favorite parts of the movie, and credit to Destin Cretton, dude's genius, but the credits, like, the credits are so beautiful. Just all the shots of New York City was so like Casey Neistat. It was so beautiful, like each shot, and like the whole like aesthetic of New York and the font that you chose with the white letters. It was just so like, you don't expect that at the end of like a Spider-Man movie. So it kind of felt like a love letter to New York City, but also just like a love letter to like to the movies and the character in general, you know, and just like cinematography in general. I think like that those end shots are just like all stills, all simple, all just of like people and like basically the world that Spider-Man's trying to create.
Yeah.
And it kind of just shows like, hey, this is like a brand new day, and this is like a brand new like trilogy, and this is a brand new like we're getting somewhere. And it was just, I don't know, it was just so beautiful. Yeah, that was like, this
is a movie where there's layers to the layers. It's just it. And there's one more thing I want to talk about before we continue the next thing. I will in a second, but speaking of, because like when I saw the first, also this is funny too. This is one of the rare times me and Landon haven't seen a Marvel movie together opening, which funny story to that. That's because I fumbled the bag. That's all right. You know. Well, he texted me. He texted the group, our club, and he's like, "Get tickets now, no." And I was asleep. I just slept through it. Rookie mistake. I'm a veteran, and I'm embarrassed to even share that. I fumbled the bag. I still saw it opening night with another friend. It's all fine. But it was funny because I'm saying it to lead up to this. When I saw the credits roll and it was just that pure cinematography, I'm like, oh, Layton is going to love this. That was the first thought in my head.
It was like, that was probably some of the best, like, I mean, with Marvel movies and superhero movies in general, there's always art that like gets put up, but that's just like that, like simple, like anyone could have done that art. And like, that's just an eye thing. Like you have to have an eye for those kind of shots. And it was just so beautiful. Like I would watch that whole movie again just to watch the credits. Like very rare exception where like, I'm like, I got to watch the credits. Like the credits.
Literally. Well, and that's what's funny too, is like how many times we've talked on podcasts where like, I'm more like, plot, whatever, like I like the story, you're more of the like cinematography. And it's funny, like over the years I've noticed as we watch more and more movies together, we've really blended into each other a bit. Yeah. Because now I'm having more of an eye for the cinematography, this work, because I've learned that stuff from you, and it's like vice versa. I see, and sometimes you're like, man, I love this story, but I'm like, you never talk about that. Like, it is really cool to notice.
But yeah, so such a good film, such a good just all around. Did you have any other thoughts on Spider-Man Brand New Day?
Yeah, so the only thing, like, I'm gonna get on my soapbox real quick as the representative of Daredevil fandom. My one nitpick for this movie, I've only said like this much, which means it's a really good movie in my book, because I'm more of a, not a pessimist, but I critique a lot with movies. That's always been a thing with me when I do my thing. How are we gonna have the Hand and Punisher and not even a word of Matt Murdock or Daredevil, even Spider-Man, whose lawyer was, and this is a whole thing I wanted to talk about real quick, and interject at any point you feel like it. But one thing I want to know timeline wise, he said this takes Kevin Feige said this takes place before Doomsday. Obviously, we know that by all the context clues, but also, does this take place before or after Daredevil Born Again season 2? Because if it's before, I give grace and it makes sense. If it's after, I have no forgiveness for this, because the reason I say that is if Matt Murdock is outed as Daredevil, Peter's going to say something about that. Like, oh my gosh, that was my lawyer. Or Frank's going to be like, yo, what happened? Like, you know, like there's going to be a comment on that. But also what really bothered me with this movie is in the show Daredevil, the Hand is a secret organization no one knows about. And now everyone knows about the Hand and they're just out in the open. That's so, and the whole excuse of, they're just kids without a leader. That I hated that dialogue, bro. I cringed. I'm like, are we serious? This is rage bait and a slap to the face of every Daredevil fan watching right now. Because again, the Hand is such a pivotal. And again, I'm not saying the Hand is only a Daredevil villain. I am saying in the comics, their first origin was in Daredevil. So therefore, he kind of has to be involved a little bit if he goes fight. Like same with Kingpin and stuff too. Like he was a Spider-Man villain first, and he gets a reference in Daredevil. They reference Spider-Man. So it's like, fair. That's fair. But you can't, I'm just really struggling with that. But again, like, it's like they took everything from Daredevil except the man himself. And I'm not saying that he had to show up in this. I didn't expect him to. I told you, like, if he does, I'm going to be shocked. I will be so happy, but I'm on the more side of it's not going to happen because I just don't see them doing it with the way Born Again season 2 ended. That being said, a name would have sufficed. Like just saying the word Matt Murdock, I'm like, I'm going to give the thumbs up. Like, cool, I got it. Like, thank you for clarifying. So that's my little mini soapbox. I really wish we had something. Hopefully we get Spider-Man and Daredevil in the future. Maybe we will, maybe we don't. I was even telling Joseph the story. You remember where we went to GalaxyCon and we met one of the writers of Daredevil. And he told me to my face, I would put a bet right now he shows up. I am so sad he was wrong.
Like especially a writer saying that. Yeah, that's a good rant. Honestly, I agree. I'm like, I don't know where he was. Especially, and that's a good question. Like, I don't know when this takes place, honestly, or when, honestly, I guess when Daredevil season 2, because Punisher's not in it, and this obviously takes place after the Punisher special, and the Punisher special obviously takes place after season 1 of Born Again.
Yes.
So I guess it's just kind of guessing, you know, really where
it's
that
guesswork.
And there's a lot. I feel like there's a lot with the shows. You're like, I don't know when this is taking. Like even like Wonder Man. You're like,
oh yeah, you
I have no idea when this is taking place.
You have inkling, but
like this is a very rare like film where we see like a date, and it was on May's Tombstone.
Yeah, it's a 2024.
Yeah, like we've never like that wasn't in No Way Home. Like her date wasn't in No Way Home, but it was shown. So that's a very rare occasion. But overall.
It was still good, and that's it. Like I like again, like so take that with a grain of salt. Don't think like, oh, Zach hates Spider-Man. I don't. I love Daredevil. That's my pet. Like we've talked all the time. I'm like, because if you ask me who my favorite MCU character is, it's Daredevil. Yeah, it's not Spider-Man. It's Daredevil. Spider-Man's number 2. But favorite comic book hero, it's Spider-Man. Yeah, obviously, but. And that's what's hard because I really want them to connect finally because it's been hinted at for years. Yeah. In the comics, it was a big deal. Daredevil's first villain he ever fought was Electro, who was a Spider-Man villain. Yeah. It goes deep. And again, I just want to see it happen to some degree because I don't think Spider-Man's going to show up in the show because of Sony. Yeah. So I think that's where my disappointment is like, well, maybe Secret Wars. I doubt it because Born Again season 3 takes place before that. Yeah. So maybe.
So we'll see.
But anyway,